Okay, it's Sunday night and there are about, I don't know, maybe 15 orders to ship out tonight. So I have yesterday's orders and today's. For some reason, I decided last night I didn't really feel like packing and nothing is going to get shipped out until Monday anyway. So I didn't do any of yesterday's orders, but I'm kind of regretting that now because I'm pretty tired today and I don't really have it in me to pack up all of these orders tonight. But they got to go out tomorrow, so they're going to get packed. Um, I I had, but still I offer next day shipping, so I have to get these packages packed up tonight and ready to go out tomorrow. But before I do that, I just had a buyer request some measurements on a coat that for whatever reason when I listed it I didn't include the measurements, so I'm going to pull that coat out of the closet, get it measured, and then tell the guy exactly how big it is, and then we'll go into the other room and get all of these orders packed up. So it's sort of is it a catch-22? It's like I'm happy to have these orders. I'm desperate for them, really. I want this business to succeed, but I also don't want to do the work. So I'm going to force myself to do it tonight. I don't have any choice. I have to do it. So let's get this coat out of the closet, get it measured, and then get into the kitchen and get orders packed. I was trying to remember why I didn't measure this, and I guess I'm solving that riddle. It's because I don't really know how these buttons work on a double. I don't know if this is double-breasted or it's got these two sets of buttons, and that seems like some of them are real. Like this is a real button on this side, and then these buttons don't do anything. Is that how it works? So I couldn't figure out how to lay it flat to measure it, so I just didn't do it. But now I want to sell this. We're deep into the winter now, and if I'm going to sell this, I need to be selling it now before it starts to become spring again. And I am shooting for my $50,000 profit goal this year, and this I think is about a $75 or $90 coat, $75.99. So I want to sell this, and if that means I have to answer this guy's question, then I guess that's what I have to do. And he just wants pit to pit measurements, which I hate using that term whenever I include measurements. I just write chest, but I know it's common. People will say pit to pit. It just grosses me out the way that phrase sounds. So this picture is going to be rough. I'm trying to take a picture of the measuring tape, but my lens is a little bit, it's got some schmutz on it, so it's a little bit blown out. So we'll try it again. All right, what is it, 26 and a half, I guess? So I'll send him this picture, and I'll also include a message. So here we go. Sorry for the late reply. He emailed, or he messaged me on eBay about this yesterday, and I didn't get to it until he just sent just a plain question mark. Sorry for the late reply. Looks like about, what did I say? 26 and a half, 26.5 inches. Thanks. Send. Okay, then I'm going to go into that listing and revise it to add this photo. I'm going to go back and send him that photo too. Crap. When you send an offer, it doesn't let you. This is stupid. Like, I should be able to change the description. I understand the bait and switch situation. Once you send an offer, they don't want you editing things, but I need to be able to edit this. If you send somebody an offer and then they ask you a question and you want to include the answer in the listing, you should be able to do that. And sometimes they have like a Q&A section, but they don't always offer that on listings. So I can't get behind what eBay's doing, where they They provide some features sometimes to some users, and other times they don't. It's very annoying. Like they just maybe I was talked about this already, I don't know, but they just announced a new cost of goods feature where you can include the cost of goods on in your listing so that it can do the math automatically and tell you what your profit is. And a lot of people are saying I would not trust that information with eBay because then they know what your profit margin is, and then they can start encouraging you to spend more on fees or whatever. You know, they can say maybe you should lower the price on this because they know you only paid $1 for it. I understand that, and I'm not sure that I want to use this feature, but I cannot understand why you would announce the feature. This now is available, and then when I try to see if it's available, it's not available in my eBay shop. So I get rollouts, and you test things, and you say, we're going to try this with 10% and see how it goes, and then 20% of our users and see how it goes, and eventually you get to 100% of your users. But do not make an announcement that is available when it is not available to everyone. Just keep trying it out until you figured it out. Once you figured it out, then tell everybody it's available and make sure that it is available, because they made that announcement like 4 days ago. It is not available in my shop. The other thing they made an announcement about is automatic decreasing of your listing price. So if you have something you don't know exactly what what it's worth, maybe put a high value on it, a high price. Maybe you say, let's see if somebody would pay me $300, and then you say, every week drop the price down by $2 or something like that until it finally, it's like a reverse auction. It goes down in price until somebody is willing to pay it. I'd love to use that feature, except it's never been made available to me. So I wish they would just keep quiet about new features until they know they're going to be available to everyone. So like I said, I don't know if I want to use cost of goods, whatever term they use for it, but it is not available to everyone. And I have evidence of that because it is not available to me. Anyway, going off on a little bit of a rant, but I measured the coat. I'm going to go back into that message and include the photo. I wrote the answer, but I forgot to include the photo. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you in the kitchen, and we're going to pack up all of today's orders. Okay, I apologize for getting a little ranty in the other room. I really don't care that much, but I've been having a long day, and I am exhausted and starting to get a little bit grouchy. So ignore all that. Let's get these orders packed. I'm going to just start with all of yesterday's orders. I'm going to finish everything that went out Saturday, and maybe I'll even buy the labels and everything and go through profits and then do all of Sunday's orders. So yeah, let's do it like that. First thing I have here is this Philips. Oh, it's like a wake up light, alarm clock that slowly gets brighter and it's supposed to wake you up in a more natural fashion. I don't know if it's nonsense or not. It could be. But people seem to like this kind of thing. I got this for $5 at my lunch break thrift store, and I sold it for $28.99 plus shipping in just like basically a month. I got this at the end of October, so I would have probably listed it early November, and then today is early December. It's December 7th. I have a box here that's just about exactly the right size. It just needs a tiny bit of paper to keep it from rattling around too much. So we'll get this loaded up. I'm not really trying to protect it. I just don't want it to be shaking around when it's being delivered. So this, I should have taken this label off before I put tape. Oh well. There are quite a few labels on here, so I'm gonna have to grab some blank labels and cover these. Here's one. This is probably fine. I guess that's it. So let's say, I'm gonna just write lamp on here. It weighs just about 2 pounds. This box is 10 by 10, 10 by 10 by 8, 2 pounds. And it's going to CM in ME. Maine. All right, that one. Next, this is a Land's End flannel shirt that came from the same the same thrift store. And I'm gonna try to fit it in one of these small boxes. I got this for $1.25 in February. So it's been sitting for a little while, several months anyway. And I have these sales running in my shop right now, 15% off sale and a 30% off sale on things that are older. So a lot of this stuff is going to be sale items, so not necessarily the highest prices. 30% off can be kind of a lot. So this only sold for $10.63 plus shipping. So we won't, we're not going to lose money on this, but we're not going to make very much. This is 10 by 7 by 3, and it's going to RL in New York. And here's a big sale coming up. I've been selling these things for the last few months, these bottles of Loctite, and I've had a couple of bulk purchases. This is the second one. So somebody sent me an offer. These I have listed for $60 a bottle, which seems kind of crazy, but they sell for like more than 85 or 90 normally, but these are expired. So I put a what I considered a pretty low price on them, $60. And I sold quite a few at 60, and then I sold some where people sent me offers, and then I sold some that were on sale. So I've sold these for all different prices. I paid about $8 a bottle, $8.60 or something like that. So I don't know what this person set an offer. They're already on sale, and I typically don't like to take offers on things that I'm already on sale, especially if they're already 30% off. But I don't know if this is just my experience or maybe I'm just reading into things, but it feels like every time I turn a sale on, the low ball offers come flying out of the woodworks. So I think that maybe people see a sale and they think that seller must be desperate, so they're going to be willing to take a huge discount. So I get a lot of people, like, I've already got something 30% off, and then somebody offers me 75% off of that price, which I'm never ever going to accept that offer unless, it'd have to be something unusual happening for me to consider an offer like that. I just put this bag in here just in case. These are liquid. I'm going to tie this bag up so that if there is a leak or something, it won't be spilling out all over the place. And I was thinking about putting this box inside another box, like to double box this thing, but I'm pretty sure this is how this would get shipped from Loctite themselves. So I'm probably not going to. I'm definitely not going to. I did the exact same thing. I put that tape on before I took the label off. So yeah, I'm just gonna ship it in this box, and it's pretty tight in there. I have to remember that this is a liquid, so I should tell the USPS this is a hazardous materials, and they will ship it only ground, not they won't put it on an airplane. That's the only real difference between the normal shipping and the hazardous. So this is 9 pounds. So somebody sent me an offer. They said they wanted 11 of these. I only have 13 left, so I got 2 more, and they offered me $352. That comes out to like $32 a bottle, and right now I had them on sale for $42. So I was going back and forth with myself, like, do I really want to sell these, or do I want to hang on to them and make? We're talking about $10 a bottle times 11. That's $110 extra I could be making. And then I just decided, these things are expired. The chances of somebody else coming along who wants to buy basically all I have left is not great. So my wife suggested that I reach out and say, if you buy all 13, the last 13 I have, I'll take that price. And that's probably would have been a good idea. But then I started thinking, like, I might be able to sell those for 60 still. So that's another $120 right there. Maybe I should have done that, but I just accepted their offer, and those are going to go out tomorrow for $352. I think it's about $100. 8 times 11. It's about $100 in product, and they're paying me $350-ish. So that's not too bad. I'm happy to get that amount. I got a small box here. These are, next sale is this little collection, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books from this I Survived series. This is like I guess it would be like a middle grade book series about kids through history who have experienced trauma and lived through it. It's kind of crazy book idea, really. That's a weird idea. So it's like, I survived Hiroshima, or I survived a shark attack, or whatever. I think it's all true stories, but I'm not sure. Like historical events. Anyway, I got these for free. I sold them for $14.99 plus shipping for those 10 bucks. Whoops. I usually tape the bottom on these recycled Amazon boxes because they always use this paper tape, which I think is good, but I don't know that it holds up for multiple shipments. So I cover it with packing tape. I survived. Weighs 2 pounds, 3 ounces. That's really 3 pounds. 10 by 7 by 4. And we're shipping this to AT in Michigan. So I always write the initials of the buyer on here. I'm going to print all these labels in one shot, and I want to make sure I put the right label in the right box. So I put the buyer's initials and then the state, so that once I print the labels, I can match the right label up with the right box. All right, next up is, this is a pretty low sale, low value sale. This is Lord Jim by Joseph Conrad, and it's in this slip case. This is a Heritage Press edition, and some of these can be valuable and some of them not so valuable. I got a bunch of these in one shot, I think from Unique. This one came from the Goodwill bins, which is very rare for me. I've only gone to one of those kind of stores 2 or 3 times. Like that's not the kind of store I like to go to. So they came from the Goodwill bins for $1.57, but I did get a bunch of these one time. Heritage Press and Easton Press books from Unique. And some of them were really valuable and some of them were not valuable at all. So in this case, not valuable at all. This has been sitting since February 2025, so 9 months, I guess. And so it hit the 30% off sale and it sold for only $7.59. So we're not gonna make much on this deal, but we'll make a little bit and it'll get out of here and somebody who wants this book will have it. And so we've done a good deed. And I'm gonna use a cheap box, and it hasn't been taking up that much space really. So it's not, this isn't obviously not my preferred kind of sale, but it's not so bad. I don't really want to sell anything less than $10, and even that's pushing it. All right, I'm trying to think if I want to put more tape on here, but I'm gonna just call it Lord Jim. It's 3 pounds. This is 13 by 11 by 3. This book is going to get shipped to TM in New York. That one's ready. Now, next one. Another book, again, not a very valuable one. This is a Bible. I thought it was going to be good. It's like still in the box and everything. Probably never even been read or opened. And I hope it's going to fit in this box, but I'm having my doubts. Oh yeah, it'll fit in there. So thin line Bible, today's new international version. This comes from Zondervan, and it's about I think it's like a I can't remember the year on it. Maybe there was none. In any event, I buy a lot of Bibles without really looking them up because most of the time somebody will buy them. And sometimes they're valuable and sometimes they're not. If they're hit or miss, it's sort of a gamble. I just grab them. This one I paid probably $3 something for. I paid $2 for this, and it sold for $11.04. So on some kind of a sale. Had to be some sale to get to that 4-cent number. But I can't remember if this is really old or really new. This is only since September, so I guess it must be a 45. I have 15% off things that are 45 days, 45 to 100 days, and then 30% off 100 days to infinity. So this must have been 15%, I guess. I don't know. It's 2 pounds, 10 by 7 by 3, and it's going to JW in Florida. Okay, 2 more sales yesterday, and then we'll get these labels purchased and then work on Sunday. This little lot of 3 Star Trek, are they all Star Trek Voyager? No, Star Trek and Star Trek Voyager cassette audiobooks on cassette. I think I have to find a box for this. I'll be right back. Okay, so these came from, I called it an estate sale, but it really wasn't an estate sale. It was just one of these deals where they're trying to sell a house and it's full of stuff. And so they just open the doors and say, come and take whatever you want. They probably had an estate sale. They ran it for 2 or 3 days, and then they just opened it up for anybody to take anything. They just need to get the house cleared out so that they can sell it, you know. So I got a bunch of stuff there. I think I got like hundreds and hundreds of audiobooks, and most of them I just sold in one big lot, unless they were unique or like it's not a series, but at least they're thematically similar. So I put those together. Not a big sale, again, $12.99 plus shipping, so we're not making a lot of money here, but if you get something for free, you can sell it for $10 or $12 or $13 and still feel okay about it, especially some small thing like that. You know, it's not hurting anything to have these sitting around for a little while. Sooner or later, somebody might come along who wants them. So, all right, Star Trek, and this is 2 pounds, 10 by 7 by 3. They're gonna get shipped to CT and CA, so California. Okay, last sale of Saturday is this Spode pottery. I guess this is called a cash pot. I guess it could be for like your kitchen utensils. It could be a planter. It could be anything. I don't really know exactly what you use it for. But I was under the impression that this Spode Christmas tree pottery was fairly collectible, but I've had this stuff for a pretty long time and I haven't sold much of it at all. And I mean, we're in a Christmas season. If I'm going to sell it anytime, it's now. So this is another thing I got for free. A guy on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace just posted it for free. They were moving. They just need to get their house cleaned out. And he said, somebody come and get all of this Christmas tree pottery. And so I was like, I'll be there as soon as I can. And I got this and a bunch of other stuff, like probably a few dozen pieces of Spode pottery plus some other things. It was all brand new. He said his mother-in-law, when they got married in 1980, and the mother-in-law insisted that they buy Spode pottery with Christmas tree pattern on it for I don't know, for their new home or whatever. And he said we didn't want it and we never ever used it, but we were just trying to appease the mother-in-law. So he wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to take it, so I took it. And just about probably on Thursday, one of my coworkers was telling me that she collects this Spode Christmas tree stuff. And I was like, oh, well, I got a whole bunch of it. And I was thinking about just offering it to her for free because I've been sitting on this since March without any real interest in it. Somebody gave me these little, they're like bags, you know, bubble wrap bags. So I'm using those up. So I was thinking about, you know, offering it to her for like super cheap or just giving it to her really. And then I come home the next day, 2 days later, and get a sale of it. So this, I got it for free, sold for $40 plus shipping. I just relisted all of this stuff. Everything that was like Christmas related got relisted 2 weeks ago or something, trying to drum up some business while it's Christmas time, before Christmas gets here. So for $40, I don't know what's the best way to ship this. I'm gonna go ahead and double box it, which kind of hesitant to do because it's not that expensive and I'm gonna be spending quite a bit of money on packing materials. But this kind of pottery is pretty breakable. So I'm gonna put that, this is like a 9 by 9 box, and I'm gonna put it inside this 12 box. And I might trim this one down a little bit so it's not the full 12 inches tall, so it doesn't really need to be. And I'm gonna use some of this these recycled bubbles over here instead of wasting bubble wrap or packing paper. I will put a little paper on the bottom. I'm just gonna build a small nest down here for this thing to sit on. And then we'll put this in the middle. And how much can I cut off of here? Not too much, probably a little bit more than that. So I'm using the box resizing tool to make this box just a little bit shorter so I don't have to waste too much packing materials. So, okay, I've got these bubbles. I'm gonna see if I can get one on each side. I can go around the corner like this. So that should be fine, I think. Got this to keep it in the middle, and then I'll put more paper on the top to protect the top. And then we'll seal it up. Okay, so that might be overkill, but I mean, it's not like it's a $5 pot. $40 is not nothing. We'll try to protect this if we can, so that should be pretty safe. Spode is very light, feels light, 4 pounds, 12 by 12 by 11, and This is gonna go to MS in California. All right, I'm gonna buy these labels. I'll come back and just run through the whole thing, everything that we sold on Saturday, and then we'll pack up all Sunday's orders and get those, do the same thing. So, okay, be right back. All right, that's 8 packages. These are all done. I'm gonna move this bag out of the way. And then let's quickly go over Saturday's profits. Let's see, gotta get my spreadsheet open and then we'll go through them one at a time. So here we go. We have a Philips, I'll just tell you the model number, HF3500 wake up light alarm clock. So that earned us $19.66. Next up, Land's End blue plaid flannel, $7.40. 11 bottles of Loctite, $220.40. I Survived book lot, 10 books, $11.80. A book, Lord Jim, the one in the slipcase, I can't remember, it was a Heritage Press, $5.07. So that was not great. Thin Line Bible, this is the one in the box still, $7.76. So 2 low sales. A lot of 3 Star Trek audiobooks, $13.67, and then the Spode Christmas tree pot, $33.29. So that gives us a total for Saturday profit of $319.09. So not too bad. I'm shooting for an average of 270 a day for the rest of the year, and anything that goes over that gets me closer to having that average. Right now we're under there, but I'll tell you about that after we pack up Sunday orders. I'm gonna go grab all of those and get those ready to pack, and then I'll be back in a second to get them boxed up. All right, I pulled the next set of orders here. I think there's 9. This is all from today. So let's get going. We're gonna start with, let's see, the bottom of the list is this Bop It. So I just sold a Bop It a couple of days ago, and then this is Bop It Extreme. So I don't know how it works. It just was making noise a minute ago, but there it goes. I don't know how to play it, but I'm including the batteries with it so somebody can play it immediately out of the box. I'm going to put a little bit of bubble wrap around it. Oops, I guess I lost.
Hey, you win!
Oh, I won. Oh, no, I did not. This thing is a different shape than the traditional Bop It. Oh boy, I have to get this in the box as fast as possible because I cannot listen to it much longer. So there it is. Try to be gentle with it because I don't want it to go off again. Oh, there it goes again. All right, these things were pretty popular. They were like really good reselling items a few years ago, but they seem to have lost some of their charm. So this one has been sitting for a little while. I paid $3 for it at a garage sale in June, and it finally just sold on sale for only $18.16. So not the best sale we've ever had, but it's fine. All right, on here, Bop It. This weighs 2 pounds. This box is 11 by 9 by 6. I want to put more tape on this bottom. 11 by 9 by 6, and it's going to, who's it going to? Okay, who's it going to? Beat in Oregon. So this one's got a little bit of a trip. All right, next. This is a vintage Windmere skinny mini hot comb, hot brush, like a curling iron style thing. Some of this vintage stuff is really valuable, collectible. I don't know if people are buying it because they can't find something that works as good, that's modern, or what really, but this sold for $60, $62.04. I paid $5 for it at the Goodwill in October on Halloween, and I can't believe it. Like, there's so much hair stuff like this, hair care tools that's floating around the thrift stores. There's too much to be able to know which things are valuable and which things aren't, and you just can't look up everything. But since this was in the box, I decided to give it a shot, and I looked it up and I was pretty surprised. It was selling between like $50 and $80. So I think I put it at like 75, and then sale came along and it sold for 62. So I'm happy with that. I paid $5 for it, it sold for 60. Got kind of a big box here, but it's an awkward shape, so we'll have to fill it with some paper. Let's take that. tape that up. This time I'm going to put tape across here because this item is pretty expensive. I don't want this box opening for sure. Okay, Windermere should be pretty light, only 13 ounces. 13 by 11 by 3, and we're shipping this all the way to Iowa to MN. Hopefully that gets there in one piece. Okay, next thing. This is a hat. I better make sure this is the right one because I have a couple of these. USCS Group. I think that's Coast Guard, Milwaukee. So I am assuming there's a boat named Milwaukee, a ship. So Coast Guard hat. I think somebody sent me a message about this. They were buying it for their dad or something. I can't remember for sure. But I got a big lot of hats at a garage sale, and by the time I averaged out how much I paid for them, it was like 30 cents a hat or something like that. And then later I sold most of those, and then I found another big lot at an estate sale. So this one came from that estate sale. I thought it might have been from the first round, but no, this came from this estate sale. I probably got 40 or 50 hats there. And this one I paid 58 cents for. That was in May. So it's getting a little bit stale now. I mean, that's 6 months or more this has been listed. But I sold it for $14.40. I only paid 58 cents for it, so that's a pretty good return on investment, I'd say. 7 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3. Let's see if this is going to Milwaukee. It is going to Milwaukee, so this is going to LB in Wisconsin. I don't know much about the Coast Guard. I'm assuming there's a boat called the Wisconsin, but who knows. Okay, next, here's a good sale. This is a Canon Sure Shot Max. Comes with a case. I got this from, if memory serves, I got this from like I wouldn't call it a flea market or a garage sale. It was like a day that a park district allowed people to set up booths and sell like garage sale type stuff. So I got this there. I think it was $12. My notes are incomplete here in the in my listing, but I remember I was trying to talk him down, saying like, I don't really want this case. So I'll take the camera for 10 and I don't want the case. And he said, I don't want the case either. Why don't you just give me 12 for it? And I said, okay, fine. I'll give you 12 for it. I didn't know, like, I don't like to pay much for those because old vintage cameras, they can be valuable, but they can also be broken. Most of the time they are broken. So if it's broken, you can sell it for parts, maybe for $15, $20. Maybe somebody knows how to repair that, but it's going to take a lot longer to find the right buyer. So I don't want to pay that much for cameras, but I know it's going to be like, if it's working, it's going to be a decent value, a good return. So I ended up selling this for $125, which I'm pretty happy with that when I saw that sale came in. And then just a minute ago, after I finished Saturday's orders and I was collecting Sunday's orders, another order came in, another camera. So we'll get to that one in a minute. It's not as good as this one, but it's okay. Not too bad. So this one, like I said, I'm pretty sure I paid $12 for it and sold it for $125 plus shipping. This box has a lot of labels, so I'm going to cover all these. All right, so this is called Sure Shot Max, and is 2 pounds, 11 by 12 by 8 by 6, and it's going to CL in Florida. That's a good Florida camera. Okay, earlier I packaged up, what did I package? Something from, I don't know if this is from getting older or what, but I cannot remember the stuff that I packaged up just a few minutes ago, but it was let me find it. Oh, it was the 3 Star Trek cassette tapes, audiobooks, and I got those from an estate sale that was like no longer anything for sale. It was just like a ransack, come and get whatever you want. I also got this book there, 1992 official USTA tennis yearbook. So that house had a bunch of stuff in it. I think the daughter was probably a high school tennis player, and they had tons and tons of tennis stuff around the house, including a couple of these yearbooks. I think I had the 1993 edition. I must have sold that one already because I don't see it on the shelf anywhere. And this one was 1992. And I had this listed, I think I was like probably $19.99. and then it was on sale for $16.99, and then somebody sent me an offer of $13.50. And like I said earlier, I don't like to take offers on things that are already on sale, but I started thinking like this. I got this book for free. It's a pretty niche subject matter. Like, you have to find somebody who's into tennis and also tennis from 1992. And so I thought, if I don't take this offer, I might never sell this book. So I went ahead and took it. I sold it for $13.50 plus shipping. So not a great sale, but like I said earlier, get something for free. You could take any amount for it. And $13.50 is fine. I would have come up with that $20 price by research, comps. But comps don't mean anything on something relatively obscure. So this is 2 pounds, 10 by 7 by 3, and we're shipping it to DG in Indiana, so pretty close. All right, next. This is a board game. It's called Sheriff of Nottingham, so Robin Hood themed board game. This I must have had for quite a while. Yeah, I've had this all the way since December of 2023. So that's been sitting for a long time. And I, obviously it was on a 30% discount. It's that old. It's been floating in my shop for way more than 100 days. So we hit the 30% off sale, and it sold for $13.99. And I paid, all the way back in 2023, I paid $4.21 for it at the Goodwill. So I'm a little more particular about board games these days. I bought too many board games that sat and nobody bought. And also I bought too many that didn't have all the pieces, and then you can't do much with those. So I have sold some replacement parts out of those kind of games, but not too long ago I decided I don't want to be in that business anymore. It takes too long to find the right person to buy, some weird cardboard pieces from the Sheriff of Nottingham game, and then you can only sell them for like $6 or something anyway. So I removed all of that stuff, at least most of it, from my shop. Board game replacement parts. But this one's complete. That's another reason why I don't love board games. You got to check every single part and make sure it's all there. It can take a long time, and some of these games can be very, very intensive. They might have 2,000 pieces in there. So doing an inventory could take you 2-3 hours just on one board game. Okay, so anyway, Sheriff of Nottingham, maybe not the best game to be on the lookout for, unless you can get it for free and you can sell it for $13.99. But you have to put it in a pretty big box, and it does take up a lot of space. So maybe not the best game. I'm gonna write on here, Sheriff. See how much it weighs. It's gonna be 4 pounds. This is 12 by 12 by 6. And we're going to ship it to CD in Nebraska. Okay, next. We got 3 more, man. Maybe we get more sales before we're done. A Fitbit. This is a Fitbit Charge 5. I had this exact same one. I got a new watch, and then I left that Fitbit sitting on my bathroom sink, like the side where I had a charger for it. I left it sitting there for like 2 years before I finally realized I could probably sell that. And I sold it pretty quickly, even though it was used. It sold, I think, probably for $50. This one I got from an estate sale. It was $12. They had some other, what do you call these? Fitness watches? Fitness tracker watches. They had another one. They had some other ones, but I didn't recognize the brand. So I only bought the one that I knew was going to be worth selling. And it took a little longer to sell than I thought. This I bought on September 12th. So it took about two months or more to sell. But I did get $79 for it. So $12 into 80, not too bad. Of course, we got fees and stuff to contend with, but we'll worry about that later. I'm going to put a little extra tape on this one because it is pretty expensive. Okay, Fitbit, pretty light, 11 ounces only. 10 by 7 by 3. We're going to ship this to, who are we shipping this to? AB in WA, Washington State. All right, next up, this spatula. It's a Pampered Chef spatula. A lot of this Pampered Chef stuff can be okay. I bought this in July at my lunch break thrift store I go to almost every day now. And I paid only $1 for it. And I probably had some loyalty points there, so it probably actually was less than $1. But it's been sitting for a little while. I think I had it listed at $14.99. Right now it's on sale. It was $10.49, and this person has been sending me offers all day. $8 offers. First they sent a $7 offer. Then I rejected it. Like I said earlier, I don't really want to consider offers on something that's already on sale. And I don't want to sell anything for $7, really. So I've already said no once. I'm not going to give you $7. Then they sent me an $8 offer, and I rejected that offer. I don't know why I'm putting this in this bag, but especially this giant bag. It just feels like it should be in here. So they sent an $8 offer. I rejected that. They sent 8 again. I rejected that again. And they sent 8 a third time, and I rejected that again. And then they just bought it for $10.49, what I was asking for in the first place. So that's definitely on sale. You know, that was not the full price, but whatever, $10.49. And this will be out of our hair, out of the inventory, and into the hands of someone who wants to make some cookies or something. I can only guess they want it for Christmas time. So this is kind of a big box for it, but I just brought this kind of skinny flat box home from work, and it seemed like a good opportunity to use it on a spoon, a spatula. All right, spatula, spat. Pretty light, 10 ounces. This is 13 by 11, probably 2. 13, 11, 2. It's going to be in Utah. So cookie time in Utah. Okay, then the final thing right now is another camera. It's a Canon SureShot Zoom Max. So is that the same as the other one? Oh, this one is called a Zoom Max. That other one was just called a SureShot Max. It's interesting how, you know, this camera is so similar to that one. That one's $125 and this one's $47.50. I don't know why, you know, what could be different about this. Maybe it has a different lens. Who knows? I thought I brought a box in for it. Yeah, here's one. This nice size box for it. So yeah, this sale just came in tonight while we were working. So we'll package this up and then we'll be almost done. I don't like these weekends when I have to work so much. And I do it to myself. Like I organized an event at work, an event for the public. It's like a craft fair. And so, I mean, I organized that. I got to deal with it. So I spent the whole, I usually have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off. I work extra on the weeks, and I've been cashing in a bunch of vacation time. So I've been taking off Fridays for a little while. So this has been a less than productive weekend for my eBay business because I've been out of the house the whole time. But I did get a lot of stuff done at work. And a lot of people were happy today, so I guess it was worth it. But trying to figure out a way to not have to do that kind of stuff all the time. Okay, let's cover up this label just because it looks bad. And I don't think the label I'm going to put on here is going to save it too much. Okay, this is SureShot Zoom. And how much does it weigh? 1 pound. This box is 8 by 6, 8 by 7 by 5. And final order of the night is going to KT in P. Okay, so that's it. Everything's packed. I'm going to get the labels for these and then I'll come back and go over those profits again. Okay, so there's 9 in this bag. So I guess we've got a total of 17 packages going out tomorrow. So let's go over Sunday's numbers. I feel like that bag is going to fall, but we'll be okay. All right, let's go through this one last time and then go to bed. Okay, Sunday we sold a Bop It and earned $14.55 on it. We sold a Windmere Skinny Mini Curling Brush and we earned $48.68. We earned a Coast Guard hat for $13 and we sold a Coast Guard hat for $13.18. We sold a Canon SureShot Max for $101.32 profit. So that's probably the sale of the day. A tennis yearbook, 1992, $11.24. A Sheriff of Nottingham board game that's been sitting here since 2023 and we only made $7.56 on it. Then a Fitbit Charge, advanced health and fitness tracker watch, brand new. $56.78 profit. A Pampered Chef spatula, $8.73 profit. That's after we sold it for $10.49. So they're trying to get me to sell it to them for $7. I would have made $3 profit. And then finally another camera, Canon SureShot. These are vintage 35mm cameras. This one brought in $33.02. So total profit for today, $295.16. So 2 days in a row that we did better than the target, which is 270. But we did have one day last week that was only $43. So that dropped our daily average profit down quite a bit. Right now, for the month of December, the average daily profit is $242.39, and we need that number to be 270 for the entire month in order to reach this $50,000 goal, which I've been saying that there's no chance we're going to get there, and I still feel that, but we're going to get pretty close. I'm estimating right now 47,000. That's my prediction right now. I have an earlier prediction of 45,360, but my current prediction is 47,000-ish. So stick around to the end of the year. We've only got a few more weeks, and then we'll find out exactly how much money I earned this year selling other people's garbage on eBay. All right, thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow, so have a good night. We'll see you then.